Welcome to the deep dive. There's just so much information swirling around. It's really tough sometimes to find the people who are genuinely making waves.
It really is. It's one thing to just put content out there, but another thing entirely to actually drive, real measurable results for a business.
Exactly. Finding those folks who consistently deliver that tangible value, that's kind of our mission here.
Right, cutting through the noise.
And today, we're diving deep into someone who seems to fit that bill perfectly. Harold Williams. We're going to look at sources, mostly blog posts, some social media stuff, to understand the unique value he brings.
Yeah, as a writer, a publicist, content strategist, the whole package, really.
And we really want to focus on how his extensive global experience and his knack for problem solving actually help his clients. The real benefits.
It's quite a story, actually. He wears a lot of hats: writer, publicist, web designer, even author. Especially big in the pro wrestling scene.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Where did this all kick off for him? We're talking the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s. He was contributing to some really well-known wrestling magazines back then, like Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Oh yeah, PWI. A classic.
Right. And Pro Wrestling Torch, staples for fans. But the key thing is, he didn't just, stop there.
He was already looking beyond just writing.
Exactly. That proactive thing you see again and again. The internet was just starting to become a thing, and boom, he's involved.
Like with the NWO website. That was 1997, right? Huge deal back then.
Massive. And the same year, he even briefly published his own newsletter, The Wrestling Express. Shows that drive, always building.
Okay, but what really jumped out at me from the sources, thinking about the time, is 1998. He taught himself website design.
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Late 90s? That wasn't exactly easy. Shows incredible foresight, doesn't it?
It really does. He saw where things were going, and he didn't just learn it for fun, right?
No way. He immediately started using it, consulting for independent promotions.
And then designing and maintaining sites. I saw mentions for Dylan Summers, Necro Butcher.
That's him. For Power Pro Wrestling Federation, Texas Outlaw Promotions. He wasn't just observing the digital shift. He was, getting his hands dirty, building the tools.
So he's building this skill set, writing, web design. What happens next, early 2000s?
Well, things really ramp up. Between 2000 and 2002, he's juggling a ton. Designing sites, doing publicity for wrestlers.
Like individual talent?
Yeah. Plus, contributing to WCW.com, which was still a major player then. Writing columns for indie guys like The Stro, and still writing for the big news sites like Wrestling Observer, PW Torch.
Wow, okay. He was busy.
Basically a one-man band, yeah. And then in 2003, he launches his own site, World Wrestling Optimum. News, articles, interviews, kind of bringing it all together.
So this early period, it's not just about writing. It's about adapting, learning tech, expanding his role, really laying the groundwork.
Absolutely. You see how he's building this foundation for being a problem solver later on? He understands the whole ecosystem.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's talk about that problem solving in action.
Yeah.
Moving into 2004, he joins UCW in Michigan.
Ultimate Championship Wrestling, yeah, as a publicist and columnist. And UCW, they were affiliated with the AWA Superstars of Wrestling.
The AWA, okay.
And his impact was pretty immediate, it seems. He quickly took on the same roles for the main AWA organization, too.
So what was the tangible benefit here? The sources say he played a major role in bringing in new talent. How did that work?
Well, he was identifying these wrestlers, guys maybe overlooked or underused, that he knew from his years covering the scene.
Okay, so using his network and his eye for talent.
Exactly. And the result, the sources say it led to a significant amount of increased attendance for UCW. That's a direct bottom line impact.
Right. Not just writing press releases, but actually changing the product, the roster, to draw more fans. That's strategic.
It's talent scouting informed by deep industry knowledge, used strategically. That's more than just content creation.
Then 2005, he's writing for 3PW. They had nationwide DVD sales, right? And importantly, they listened to him.
Yeah, that openness seems key. He wasn't just writing a column, he was pushing for changes behind the scenes.
Like the DVD quality.
Exactly. He pushed them to up their game, get better production. They actually switched production companies because of it.
Okay, improving the product again. But there was something bigger, wasn't there? About TV.
Yeah. This is really interesting. Management's plan was wait for the fan base to grow, then get TV.
Kind of cautious, maybe?
Right. But Harold argued the opposite. He said, no, getting TV is how you grow the fan base faster. You need that exposure first.
He challenged their core strategy.
Totally. And they gave him the go-ahead to look for networks.
And he found some.
Get this, 2 networks were very interested. He actually lined up potential deals.
Wow. So, what happened?
Well, unfortunately, the owner just lost interest and shut the whole promotion down.
Oh, man. That's rough after getting that far.
Super frustrating, I bet. But think about what it shows. Even though it didn't pan out because of external factors, Harold had identified the path, the strategy, and executed on it. He found real interest.
So the potential was proven, even if the plug got pulled. It shows his ability to see the business need and act.
Precisely. Strategic foresight and execution. That's the takeaway for you, the listener. He delivers the plan and the action.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly, but stay on this problem-solving theme. International bridge building. Sounds fascinating. 2009, Big Japan Pro Wrestling.
BJW, yeah. He was a columnist and running their Facebook page, but here's where it gets really unique.
What did he do?
He apparently helped bring BJW back together with Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW. They'd had a working relationship before, but it had fallen apart.
So he played mediator, rebuilt a relationship.
Seems like it. He stepped in, helped mend fences, which in the wrestling world or any business, really, that's huge.
Definitely requires some diplomacy.
Yeah.
And the result for BJW.
Because of this renewed partnership he helped broker, Big Japan had its first ever event in the United States.
Wow. So he directly facilitated international expansion for them, opened a new market.
Exactly. It's not just writing articles, it's navigating complex relationships, rebuilding trust, creating major business opportunities. Think about that value facilitating cross-cultural deals.
Okay, these examples, UCW, 3PW, BJW, CZW, they paint a really consistent picture, don't they?
Absolutely. The pattern is he's not just a writer. He identifies bottlenecks, sees the strategic need, whether it's talent, production, TV deals, international partnerships.
And then he proposes a solution and actually does something about it.
Right. He executes. And it leads to tangible benefits. More fans, better product, new markets. That's the key takeaway here. He's a strategic partner delivering measurable results.
So that strategic side is clear. Now let's really dig into what makes him perhaps truly unique, that global perspective. You mentioned he lived in Japan.
Yeah, for 10 years, a full decade. And during that time, he was actively writing English content for various Asian companies.
So not just visiting, full immersion.
Exactly. Living the culture, working within it. That kind of experience gives you an understanding you just can't get otherwise. It's central to his ability to bridge those gaps for clients.
And there's direct proof of his impact there, right? The great Sasuke.
Oh yeah, the tweet from Sasuke himself, a legend in Michinoku Pro, saying, "Thank you very much for coming and writing and adding God's blessing to you." That's a pretty powerful personal endorsement from someone of his stature.
It really is. Shows he made a real connection. And his recent work continues this global impact.
Definitely. Look at 2021 Kyushu Pro Wrestling. His blogging and social media work led to 220 new YouTube subscribers and over 52,000 new views.
Concrete numbers. Real ROI from content.
Then Yanagasi Pro Wrestling, his writing helped them move their anniversary shows from a tiny 50-seat venue to one holding 300 fans.
Wow, a 6-fold increase in capacity. That's significant growth.
Hugely significant. Again, tangible impact on their reach and potential revenue.
And there's China. Middle Kingdom Wrestling. This sounds groundbreaking.
It really is. He was their publicist. His English work was adapted into traditional Chinese for the local audience. And get this, the sources say he's the first native English writer who has written for a Chinese wrestling organization in history.
The first. That's incredible. Talk about pioneering.
Right. Breaking new ground, bridging that cultural and linguistic divide in a way nobody had before in that specific context.
And back to Japan. Michinoku Pro. Since 2019. He's managing their international content. What's the story there?
This one's big. His involvement coincided with Michinoku Pro shifting their big Tokyo shows. They moved from a smaller venue, Shinkiba First Ring, to the legendary Korakuen Hall.
Korakuen Hall, isn't that like the Madison Square Garden for Japanese wrestling?
Exactly. It's the iconic venue. And the peak of this was December 13, 2019, a sellout, standing room only show at Korakuen. 1,890 people.
Standing room only at Korakuen.
Yeah, and the sources highlight that was the highest reported attendance there for any pro wrestling event since April 2015.
Okay, that is monumental. Helping elevate a brand to achieve that kind of historic milestone, that speaks volumes.
It absolutely does. It shows his ability to influence strategy, build buzz, and contribute to massive success on a major stage.
But it's important we stress he's not just a wrestling guy, right? His experience is broader.
Oh, much broader. The sources mention staffing and recruiting, the bar industry, sports merchandise, even luxury bikes.
That's quite a mix. Shows versatility.
Totally. And it's underpinned by his education. University degree, major in business, minor in computer applications.
Ah, okay. So the business brain and the tech skills were there from the start.
Exactly. It makes him valuable not just as a writer, but strategically, technologically, he integrates it all.
And he leans into that tech side now, too. Writing about AI, VR, NFTs.
Yeah, specializing in those cutting-edge areas, AI, VR, AR, NFTs, 5G, Web3, streaming, the metaverse.
Yeah.
Often explaining them through the lens of wrestling, which is a clever way to make complex tech relatable.
Future-focused stuff. And he's also a subject matter expert in other areas. Japan's MMA scene, soccer.
Right, the business side of those sports in Japan. It just adds another layer of deep niche knowledge that could be incredibly valuable depending on the client's needs.
So when you put it all together, the decade in Japan, the global brands, the diverse industries, the tech and business background, what's the unique value proposition here?
Well, you see, he's not just a writer. He's more like a cultural interpreter, a market expansion specialist, a strategist who happens to write. He can navigate different business cultures, apply insights across fields.
Whether it's boosting ticket sales, fixing production, brokering deals, or writing about AI.
Exactly. He brings this multifaceted toolkit honed by real-world global experience, ready to tackle complex challenges for clients who want to grow, bridge gaps, make a real impact.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. Harold Williams. It's a really fascinating journey. You've got deep industry knowledge, sure, but combined with this genuine global mindset from years living abroad.
And that consistent track record we talked about, identifying problems and delivering solutions that actually move the needle for clients. Measurable benefits.
He's really that blend, isn't he?
Yeah.
The writer who brings serious business thinking and strategic vision.
Yeah, he embodies that idea that, a content person can be so much more proactive, strategic, results-driven.
So the final thought for you listening. In this absolute flood of content we all live in, maybe we overlook the power of one person, one writer, who thinks strategically. Someone who doesn't just write well, but can actually drive growth, connect cultures, solve tricky business problems.
Yeah, like what kind of unexpected background or experience could be the missing piece for your next big project? The thing that takes it from, say, a 50-seat room to selling out Carcoon Hall.
He does offer sponsored content and access to an international audience, according to the sources, for brands wanting to level up, if that sounds like the kind of strategic partner you need.
You can apparently reach him at info@harold-williams.com.
Definitely a career worth diving into. Lots to think about there.